This is William Bradford Nichols, the editor for Nutrition Insight, and I am here live in Las Vegas, Nevada at SupplySide Global 2025 with François Scheffler and Sonia Hartunian from dsm-firmenich. Hello guys, how are you today?
Hi there. We're very well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I understand dsm-firmenich has an experience all lined up, and I'm just going to let you walk me through if that's okay with you guys.
That would be fantastic, and welcome to our longevity shift experience here live at SupplySide Global. So together with Sonia, we will get you through the 4 stages of this experience, and we're starting with the gap. So let me just explain what the gap is. Most of us look at life expectancy and at lifespan, and this has increased 30 years over the last 100 years. We live much longer than before, but the last 10 years of life, we struggle maybe with mobility, maybe with brain issues, maybe with other issues, eyesight, things like this. And this is what we call the lifespan to health span gap. So this is a 10-year gap, and you can see behind me, you can grab some balls and feature, for example, that your worst fear is mobility and my other big fear is brain. And as you can see, the consumers in North America, they also share some of their fears of this gap in health at the last 10 years of life. So let me now bring you to the shift and what has changed. So if you come with me, I will show you that for a long time, we have been looking at aging as an inevitable consequence of being humans, really. And what we've done is we mitigated the symptoms, like in heart health, in brain health, or in joint health. And we all know about this. But what is happening at this moment in time is that there is a big shift. And let me show you why there is a shift in how consumers think. So here, the big shift is that the consumers are now thinking prevention. What can I do ahead of what is happening rather than cure the ills as they've already happened? And there's 3 elements. One is we have access to much more tech. So for example, these glasses will prevent you from seeing blue light. We all have connected devices. So we can measure much more than we could. The second shift is that the science has really dramatically improved, and clinicians, medical practitioners are now looking at longevity and are saying we actually start to understand some of it. And of course, the consumers are also seeing a lot more communication around doing well for one's health and how can that all come together. So there's a huge excitement in the market that for the first time in many decades, as consumers, we feel empowered that we have a choice and that we can grab this choice with our knowledge of all the TikTokers, YouTubers, medical professionals, etc. So the secret is, where does this all come from and how can we still think of it scientifically? So come with me and I'll follow you together with Sonia, because in this magnifying glass, what you could see is that well is through the cell. So that's the key secret of how do we actually activate this prevention towards health expectancy. So let's go and meet Sonia inside the cell, and she's going to show us behind this curtain. Hi, Sonia.
Hi, welcome. Come on in. Welcome into the body.
We are inside the cell with Sonia, and she's going to run us through what is really the fundamental science that we are using to develop our solutions that we'll see later. So Sonia, the cell core is to you.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm really excited to be sharing this because I'm a scientist, and as a scientist, I really focus on what's rooted in science. And when we think about healthy longevity or healthy aging, we have to call your attention to the hallmarks of aging. So in 2013, they published the hallmarks of aging, but 2 years ago, they updated them to be the 12 hallmarks of aging. And these range from genetic instability to chronic inflammation to cellular senescence. And there's robust research projects behind each one of these aspects. But I'd like to draw your attention to 4 of them here that at dsm-firmenich we really believe are the 4 key ones that can be modified through nutrition. So if we start here with gut dysbiosis, which is a bit of imbalance that happens as you age, you get more and more dysbiosis. sort of, the gut is the center of your body and helps with the immune system. So I know we've spoken about this a bit more. And then we have mitochondrial dysfunction. So if you remember back to 7th grade, the mitochondria is the powerhouse inside your cell. It's very important.
The little power plants that make everything happen, the famous ATPs, right?
Exactly, the famous ATPs, and this really provides a lot of cellular energy. So that's exciting, but you also need to make sure that this stays well throughout your lifespan so that you have the energy to continue. Cellular senescence is probably a term that many of you do not know, so I know this is unique. In understanding this is that we have cells that divide very easily every single day. This is a natural process. But as we age, sometimes these cells stop dividing, they die. They're called zombie cells, but they're left remaining in the body and they can put out some harmful substances. So we really, really want to protect our cellular health, which I know we talk about a lot is cellular health. And then the last but not least, for sure, is chronic inflammation, which, Francois, you know when we have conversations, this is the underpinning of really most of our age-related conditions is chronic inflammation. Some of inflammation when you're younger is healthy, but as you get older, it becomes more a chronic condition.
So we want to kind of keep that flat, not too high, but also we don't want to eliminate inflammation because there has some benefit in repairing the body as well. So thank you so much for clarifying what happens inside the cell. But now we want to see what the solutions are, right?
Yeah.
So let's go and look at our preferred solutions and how we do that.
Welcome in here into the light. And if I could bring you around here a little bit also, maybe you'd like to, I'll stand over here so you can take a look at the solutions. So in speaking about those 4 aspects of aging, we have 5 different solutions that we really feel take care of each one. This is the gut rejuvenation. I talked about as the center of the gut, and this is a tribiotic. So there's 3, a pro, pre, and postbiotic within there. And if you look in there just a little bit, you can see the 3 layers that really make a difference to the product. We think that's cool because not only does that offer some benefits to the consumer, but there's a visual key for them to take a look at. Now, I mentioned the mitochondria, and we want to keep that energy flowing throughout our lifespan. We've also offered another product here that focuses on Risvita, which is our trans resveratrol, which has an explosion of research on healthy aging since 2009. They discovered that Risvita actually and resveratrol was part of the SIRT1 pathway, which is very, very key to
also known as sirtuins.
Yes, sirtuins, for those scientists who know that. Thank you for bringing that together with some nice vitamins.
And sorry, Sonia, to interrupt you, but because I'm marketing, I really like, I don't want to say the gimmicks, but how the consumer is looked after. And here we really have these really unique little pearls that actually contain all these active ingredients. And I think for the consumer it's so exciting to see that there is actives in it at the same time as we communicate it. So the visual cues, the tri-layer, the little pearls, the easy formats, this is also a very important way to get the consumers engaged on health expectancy. So it's not just about the science, nothing happens without the science, but really the consumer insights that we get is consumers now want to feel empowered, they want to make choices, so that's why we're offering them, but they also want to have an experience, and they want to make a choice of which experience they want, maybe in the morning differently than in the evening. So back to the science now again.
No, it's great because we really are here at the trade show to inspire the dietary supplements industry to really make a move and have healthy solutions. We're here to inspire you, and we have a role and even a responsibility, I think, to help people along their healthy longevity. So in that regard, if you don't like those formats, we have other formats to offer you. This is a really cool flip top. So it's something that you can just easily put into your mouth, very unique on how to open it.
Let me demonstrate it because this is a really, so if you get close up and you look, what's brilliant about it is I can open a sachet for the first time with just one hand, just like a cigarette lighter, and then I can consume it.
And right now, while
without water.
Without water. Without water.
No, it has a really great taste. This is lemony, this is energetic, and this is coupled with cellular repair. And of course, our taste division has made sure that this is connected to the consumers thinking about what is a taste that relates to cellular repair.
Well, you know what I love about it is I can smell. So those flavors in there are amazing. So we can't leave our flavors out because dsm-firmenich has a powerhouse of flavors that offer many different unique textures. And I'm smelling the great cellular repair that's going on with Francois right now, highlighting great antioxidants. Okay, now I'm really excited. This is where it gets really exciting when we talk about chronic inflammation. And there was a study that was published this year called the Do Health Study. And in the Do Health Study, they used our Life's Omega as well as our vitamin D3, and they were supplemented for 3 years. And this is people around the average age of 75 years old. And what the results
So this is a hardcore clinical study, like this is the very best, the gold standard, double-blind placebo control. It doesn't get better than this.
It's true.
That's why we're so excited about the result.
That's why I'm excited, exactly. As a scientist, I'm happy to share that after 3 years of supplementation, it not only reduced chronic inflammation, but it also showed that it slowed our biological clock. So for some of you, they may not know that. That's just sort of a way of showing how we age and can we nudge it backwards. And yep, the results did show that you can actually nudge it backwards.
And this was done with a very proven biological clock by the Swiss Institute of Longevity based in Basel. And of course we all know about Swiss watches and clocks, how precise they are. So this is really high precision, very, in my view, one of the most important sets of ingredients for longevity, omega-3 and vitamin D3, but here a microalgal, high purity, very clean omega-3.
You know what, Francois, I'm going to call that the dynamic duo.
The dynamic duo, that's great.
That's what it is. That's
so let's go to our last one.
The last one really takes a look at neuroinflammation. So we talked about inflammation in the body, and this is a gummy, but a unique gummy that is packed with lutein, zeaxanthin, curcumin, L-theanine, and many other ingredients that can help to reduce inflammation in the brain and throughout the body. So we're really excited about this because this technology allows us to increase the amount to get efficacious doses, which is not always the case in many products. So,
and we know that it works because if you touch it, your finger gets a little bit yellow, which means it's very high dose of curcuminoids. And in this case, we have chosen a really exciting flavor to stimulate the consumer's brain, and it's called electric ginger. It's part of our Novasense sets of flavors that actually have an emotional trigger component that we have measured and qualified scientifically. And this is getting the consumer to feel in advance the benefit of the formulation. So really across our range, as Sonia showed you, very high quality science, very precise on science, but also this enjoyment of the formats with gummies, with powders, with soft gels, and the flavor component that is really based on what the consumers are looking for today during the course of their day.
So if you have not stopped by our booth, come on here. We're going to be here all the way to Thursday, so we hope that you join us to have more conversations.
Thank you both so much for talking to us and walking us through the experience. Hope you have a great rest of the show. We look forward to hearing much more from dsm-firmenich in the future.
Thank you.